Hey, so I'm starting the stream earlier than usual because I keep on thinking about those damn root trees. And also, I'm probably gonna have to eat dinner like in an hour's time. So I'll have to BRB for 20 minutes, but it's fine because I wanna think about the root trees. I wanna solve this mystery. It's another one of those good old mysteries. Let's talk about those mysteries. I need to... So if I could reflect on what happened last time, and that's... I need to highlight things more. If there's something I don't understand, then I need to highlight it. If there's something I don't recognize, I should highlight it. I should be highlighting all the time. Because I bet there's trails I have missed. So, this is where we left off. This is where we left off. There's no one with stars on this side of the tree, so I probably can't look them up. I think I could probably think about Miracle a bit more than I already do. Such as by hazarding a guess at one of these people. I mean, this guy looks a lot like him. He's got the same everything. I'll put that there, and he'll get sorted out if that's the case. This was all of what I had. This campaign mailer. What is it about this? Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least. But in her words, 22 years later, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. I think that's someone modern on the left side of the tree. But there's not much I can gather from that at the moment. WRTD radio. I still think there's more to do with WRTD. The root tree curse. Yeah, this whole thing. Had a young daughter about the same age as Raina. I don't know about that daughter yet. I just don't know about her. Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr. Do I know any Ernies? His second cousin. They're not removed, so he would be on this row. I don't know any Ernie. I don't know any Ernies, actually. I know an Elias. Wait, who is this? This was Carl. Carl and his second cousin Ernie, who had just become president of Root Tree at the time. Who could Ernie be? It's Ernie Jr. as well, so his father must be an Ernie. Is this the only place where it can fit? That could be Ernie. I don't know enough about Samantha. I've already sorted that out. Clunset Trust. Wishing you well from Paris. Gwyn and the boys. Who are the boys? I think the boys are these two. And I have said before, I don't think she looks old enough to be their mother. But who else could be the boys? Who else could be the boys? Who else could be the boys? And there's more to think about when it comes to rolling on down to the city. Peter Yanovich. Yeah, like, who is Peter Yanovich? An MMM entirely. What could this have to do with anything? Public library. No, periodicals. Modern Music Monthly. Diamond LaRue. The LaRue sisters got their start doing session work for their great uncle's record label. If you remember any songs... Diamond and Jane have been touring with some famous faces and are looking... Youngest Kim is about to step into a prominent, taking over for one of the children in Oliver. Lucky LaRue's indeed. Jim Roottrees. Yeah, Clark. That's him. Clark Rafferty. Which one could he be? He looks a bit like this one, to be honest. Yeah. I'll put that there, and maybe it'll be right. But, Raffertunes. Is there nothing more to do with Raffertunes? Which is just his advertising company and the advert where I got the... Yeah. Clark Rafferty. What about, yeah, that I just considered the LaRue's entirely. Is there nothing else I can get from this? Who else was in the music world? She's an actor. I think there's definitely something to do with this that I should think about. Mrs. Cattrall is the head of farming. They cost quite a lot to attend and sell out every time. So the Butler County Times recommends getting tickets the moment they go on sale. The ads and blurbs. The farm offers discounts on Tuesdays. Why should I know this? Yeah, Ron Roottrees. Brother Trouble. Would I find him on... this? No, not Modern Music Starlet. Butler County Times. People local to the area. Right. We should look up names. Let's just look up Carl. Article that also mentions Ernie Jr. One announces Carl's marriage to Brenda. Ernie. The article that also mentions Ernie is from 1996, when Carl took over from Ernie Jr. Yeah, Ernie Jr. was the 4th president, but I don't know where he is. Is this all I can learn about Ernie Jr.? Yes. What I'm thinking is you, Samantha Roottree, farmer. She worked on the farm. Just Sam, I believe she usually went by. Samantha. Operation RT-29. You find more conspiracy websites. Some people out there claim that the root trees are changing the candy type to include more and more chemicals, and that this was done in cooperation with bad actors from an unknown government. They claim that due to a loophole in the calendar, it is impossible to get away with nearly any crime on elite days so long as it isn't discovered until after the day is over, and that every 4 years that I don't think this is too important. Guy. I think Guy, if that's his name or nickname, was the 3rd president. Would... His surname might not have been Guy. Might have been Madsen? John Madden? Morden. I'm not... There is Madsen as a surname, isn't there? Yeah, there are many Madsens. There's an Ernie Madsen Jr. and an Ernest Madsen. As I was thinking, the only 2 places where an Ernie would fit is here and here. So it's either this is Ernie, or this is Ernie, or this is Ernie, or that's Ernie. Stop disconnecting. Mrs. Cattrall. Do I know any more about her? What's her first name? Stephanie? No. No. Not here? No. Swashbuckle my heart. Didn't I look that up? Public library. It was, I remember it was X Marks the Spot, right? By Lauren Roottree. Yeah, that's where I got the second diary from, which I believe I read. Did I not highlight anything from that? Poor work on my part, I think, revisiting the diary. Clark's gotten married again. No Rootree has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob and Gwyn divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Seeing what he gets up to in Starlet. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped, more than I could say for Clancy or Edward. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. Yeah, I didn't highlight this. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her. Let me read that again. Had she the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwyn never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. Ernie and it has been a long time since any real Rootree was as excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. I think Ernie married Sam. Ernest Madsen. And therefore Ernest Madsen Jr., 3rd President. There was something about glasses I read once. Why was that important? As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. The thing is, the only place where there's an adoption is here. Gwyneth. This could be Gwyneth. Gwyneth Madsen. Wait, why would that be here and not here? Sam's a spitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. So what? You're Ernie Jr.? That's one possibility that I have figured out. But I don't know. I do know. I do know. I don't actually know which way round they go. Whether it's you then you or you then you. Something more I'll have to think about. It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operations would pass to Samantha Roottree for as long as she was willing. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. Uncle Junior, Miracles Eli, or Eli C. That goes for Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. Oh, come on, you stupid mouse. Yeah. That lines up. Or even Clancy. I don't know which way round Edward and the other one, Edward and Eli C, go. Who is EC? Eli C? No, she knows Eli C. She refers to this as EC. Who could EC be? How many C's? I don't have any C's. EC. I only know an Eli C. Kellogg, David III, David IV. David, how many Davids are there? David. There's only a David III and a David IV. Where could they even go? Probably down here. I don't know much about that area. I think Gwendolyn... I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy Roottree. I had to break the news that they got my father's name backwards. Edward Clancy, EC. Your Pop is my dad. Yeah. There's more to that. There's more to that. Let's read the original diary again. That was covered in the Butler County Times. Lauren Roottree. Reviewed Lauren's diary. They go a bit into Lauren's history. She grew up around the famous Roottree family. She wrote some romance books involving historical figures such as pirates and knights that were released under her married name Rafferty. Claims it captures the evolution of perspective from adolescence to adulthood and a true feeling of change in society across multiple decades. They call special attention to the author's recollection of the day she heard that her husband Jacob died in the war and how times have changed in the more than 20 years between the first and last diary entry. The writers of the review mention that because the majority, many locations they've personally recognized. Don't forget, you can find this and many other books at your local library. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Gandalf was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So if the 5 pieces came down to us next gens, Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the root tree name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who's volunteered. Said it ended up going to Zach. Angie's older than Zach, and I'm next oldest of us all. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. There's actually only one more woman here. Cheeky housewife? Maybe. How many Madsons are left? There's a Gwyneth and a Nicole. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands. EC and John used John. John whom? I don't know a John. Do I already have a John in place? There's a lot of J's. Is a free spirit. Musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. Musicians and artists and dancers. You look like an artist. Oh, I didn't give her a name. But what if I just choose a name, right? What if you're Gwyneth, and what if you are an artist? Or what if instead you're Nicole? Stop doing that. Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. As in, Edward is a lawyer. That's important. I don't think this is important anymore. They said Edward. Edward. I don't know, Edward. Let me look up the Carlson Trust again. Carlson Trust. Find a comment on a Newsnet board. RR Productions stating that Brother Trouble ended up Robbie Root Tree. There's not much information about Robbie Root Tree. In a comment thread on a message board about television cliches, why was Brother Trouble cancelled? I think it's because the writing really went downhill. They actually had an episode where Roxy was addicted to sniffing markers. Rumor about Silver Screen magazine. Yes, I did. Robbie Roottree and Ron Roottree. The new magazine. A small rumors article from 1992 that claims that television screenwriter Robbie Roottree was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert in a French court of law. It seems he, again, allegedly embezzled from the company RR Productions to fuel a gambling habit that left him hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. He fled to Paris, where he grew up, and then assaulted an officer who came to question him. Doesn't this... Yeah, first, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and this is Roottrees versus RR. Significant crime against a fellow family member. That could be Robert to Ron. Person in question was born out of wedlock. How could that fit in? I'm not sure. Received information from an anonymous source and were able to confirm through a public record that there was a trial involving a Robert Roottree around the same time that Brother Trouble was cancelled. Don't blame nepotism, he gets results. After finding some small screen success, first as the director for many soap opera episodes, Ron decided to start his own television company. Ron and Robbie, they're gwins. They're gwins. And his brother, who's older? His younger brother. So it's Ron, then Robbie. Ron. Ronald Roottree. Robert Roottree. Ronald Roottree. Director. Robert Roottree. Director? Embezzler. Does this make sense? This would, if this is correct, that might not be correct. I don't know which. American cinema whenever he could. Script punch-ups. criminal is not an occupation. Was it productions? Oh, that just leads to this. Company leaders. Son of James and Gwydlyn, grandson of Elias. Elias entrusted me with carrying on his legacy, and that's what we plan to do. Along with 5 pieces, we will not be making any changes. What about Ernie Jr.? Root president to take over Root-tree. Oh, Root president to take over Root-tree. Ernie Jr. is stepping down as president of Root-tree at the start. His second cousin Carl, the former Watchman of the Year, real life Wonka, who's known a bit simply Ernie Jr. Ernie Jr. is such an impenetrable man to find information about, I think. Everybody says, oh, he's so secretive. Like, is this even you? Or is this you? Oy. Oy, 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 oy. I'm swapping you around. I'm putting Ernie here. No? Oh, what a shame. I don't want to have to ask the duck. There's got to be something more that I can find. Stephanie Jones. I'll look her up in the thing. Stephanie Jones. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon, grew up in a home without a father. She's a distant cousin of the Root-trees. Her mother, Carolyn, a local artist. That's pretty good, huh? I'm guessing Brian Jones is the black guy. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. Her mother, Carolyn. Carolyn whom? That matches up. So this, therefore, because the mother divorced and then adopted by... That's like the only divorce left. Yeah, this is the position where she has to be. A local artist who's appeared on the front page, which means I can get her picture. Yeah. Carolyn Morden. Boom. Atlantis' burden. Can I click on that? Great. Let's see if this gets a hit. Carolyn. No hits. Yes, hits, hits, hits! We hit it! What have we got right? Ronald Roottree, Carolyn Morden, Angelica Morden. Let's see what is incorrect. This is not Clark Rafferty. What else? I don't think there's anything else. I think we're pretty perfect, huh? Yeah, okay. Now we can finally start knocking this down. Zachariah Morden, Carolyn Morden. This is Stephanie Jones, or Stephanie Landon. Stephanie Landon, politics. That's her. And Brian Jones, this guy. Landon. Well, now I know that this is Robert. I thought he looked older than him, but director may not be correct. Criminal seems more applicable. Hey, what if I just put this guy in and it's like correct, right? What if it's just correct? Where Ernie Jr. No. It's not that easy. You can't just sub in stuff you don't know. But this looks good. This looks good. Let's take a look at that book. Self-Portrait, Art and the Beauty of Women by Carolyn Morden. Here. Mostly black and white pictures of Carolyn's art. Centerpiece is a series of full-color nude self-portraits of different ages. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. Talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation. In her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams. Dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, whom she calls completely bogus. That should be whom, by the way, I'm pretty sure. She comes out strongly against the Roottree Company's effect on the local environment and rues how she was not able to convince her father, Zach, to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile life in her life, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has... yeah. Her sister Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn Morden. Let me move my mouse, please. Her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie. So there's a Bonnie here. Yep, there's a Bonnie here. She married Mark. Mark Landon. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Atlantis' burden. If this is a piece of art, can I find it on the internet? No. Can I find her on the internet? P-flag. Parents and friends of lesbians and gays. Parents and friends of lesbians and gays. Parents and friends. Friends? Well, there's 3 children there. So that, to be honest, that might... Who is this guy? Like, he's just standing next to her. She's pregnant. I don't... So who's the friend? If she's not the parent, who's the friend? Like, here or somewhere else? Can I get more information? Or is it... Yeah, that's just it. Married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. Yeah, she married Brian Jones, duh. I took a look at that. We will not be making any changes. Edward is set over to take over his department when he retires. So Edward was a lawyer, yeah. Okay, are we doing this thing again? Where I'm just like, okay, which one of these looks the most lawyerful? Like, this guy looks identical to him, right? Or this guy. Clancy Jr. Who was Clancy Jr.? Do I know any more? Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands EC and John. I don't think Eli C is EEC. Is John? Yeah. Gwendolyn Morden. Yeah, she probably would have featured in the... She's her. That looks about right. Ernest Madsen. I've got 1, 2 if I learnt a bit more about Robert Roottree, because I'm not entirely certain on that. Eli, to be honest, that could be Eli M, right? This could be Eli M. Yeah, but this is like also the next. This is next gen. Next gen, usually these people. Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. At the reception... Mrs. Cattrall, Roottree Candy Company's current head of farming. Guy? Who's Guy? You think Starlet would... I don't think Ron Roottree is big enough to get into Starlet. Or Robbie. No. Gambling habit. Assaulted an officer. Is gambler a job title? Nope. It's like you're searching for vulnerabilities, like who exactly is Stephanie in this whole thing? Or who is Gwendolyn Morden? What did she do? More than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Loophole in the calendar. Eli's marriage seems fine and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock. Pun intended. A rock? Guy Hudson. Bonnie Hudson. He must... Wait, Ernie is the 4th president, not the 3rd president. Guy is the 3rd president. I think that's where I'm getting wrong. Quaritch? Who could be related to a rock? Quaritch? That's a bit like the word quarry. Okay, I think there's Ernest Jr. 4th president. Is this your card? Mouse. I'm moving my mouse and my mouse don't go. Okay, I move him over to here then. No. What? Oh, come on. I don't want to use the duck. Referred to as a confirmed bachelor, as in not having a wife. So who could he see be if he's on the tree? It's just hard to place. His roommate, Mr. Miller. I don't want the duck to give me too big a hint. Don't give me too big a hint. Don't be like, dipshit, yes, what you see is exactly what you need to do. Be kind, duck. There's a tangent in James Roottree's spider search result that's worth investigating. James Roottree? Oh, to find his father or children. He is rather isolated at the moment. Thank you for just telling me a name. What exactly is important here? James Roottree is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife, Diamond LaRue. Although Jim writes the majority of songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond's dazzlers. The rest of their music, Cherry Tree and The Sound of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse and hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. I witnessed a helicopter land on February 29th, 1996. There was someone else, Ernie. Ernie died in 1996. Diamond's Dazzlers. Oh, exciting! The name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year to Diamond's Dazzlers. It's accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honour themselves perfectly. Amongst the pictures of Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant. The card from 1996 includes pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. How convenient. You found a picture of a Christmas card from Jim and Diamond to their fan club in 1996. The description said it included a picture of his son Wolf listening to his parents' latest music. Wolf. Wolf Roottree. I don't know how I didn't realise that as a name. He looks student college, student K-12, student. Did this mention anything? Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf. Maybe Wolf goes here instead. Wolf. We got a couple more. Let's see who they are. Wolf, Ernie Madsen is in the right place, and Stephanie Landon. And we've also locked some more things. Booyah. Booyah. Now I have the opportunity to see where I have gone wrong. But I placed Ernie in the right place. Ernie goes here, not there, here. So you're another Madsen. But there's a Gwyneth and there's a Nicole. And I don't remember what you did. The Floozies. That's my next thread, isn't it? Yeah. You didn't trigger anything. Oh, what was her name? The Floozies. They haven't given us the name. An all-female punk band operating out of... They were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act. Extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and extremely unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive. Beef Baby. Conquistador. Candy, Nikki, Nina. Candy Roottree. Wasn't that easy? Musician, there she is. Let's look up Conquistador. Or it'll probably just send me to here, yeah. Nikki and Nina, are they on my list? Nicole? I don't have a Nina, but a Nicole I might have. That would be a Nicole Madsen. Set this to be Gwyneth Madsen, although I don't know what she did. Nicole could be either one. I still haven't found Clark in this picture. I believe I tried this one, but it didn't work. Even though they're very similar. Yikes. Well, that's good to see, but now I'm kind of stuck again. Missing in 1996. This wouldn't have appeared in the Butler County Times, right? Can I enter a date and look at the newspaper for that date? It was the 29th of February 1996. Operation... what are those? What do they call it? RT-29. No. I really wish I didn't have to rely on this, but I feel stuck again. Let me... Ernie Jr. Where could Guy be? Guy whom, right? Guy Hudson. I don't know a Hudson. I just don't know a Hudson. I think there's only one place a Hudson can go, and that's here. What else do I know about Guy? Guy Hudson. Guy Hudson. I looked in the Butler County Times. I looked at Guy... Butler County Times. Guy Hudson. Although the Butler County Times did not archive their obituaries, they did a front page story in 1982 about Guy Hudson and his wife Patricia dying in a car accident. Guy was a somewhat controversial president. Foul play is not suspected. There were witnesses who reported that the vehicle was instigated the wreck was speeding, swerving between lanes. Guy had been a president for Roottrees for only 4 years. He and his wife had no children. So this is Guy. Guy, 3rd president, and his wife Patricia Jones. Coinkydink? I was trying to move my mouse. Coinkydink? I don't think so. Guy would have been alive for like this. Are you Guy? Are you Guy? Which Guy? Which Guy could it be? Oh, I guess we'll never know. I have no idea what Robert Roottrees is doing nowadays. And therefore the other Hudson is Bonnie Hudson. Where did I get Bonnie from? I learnt of Bonnie... from... I read Bonnie. I read the word Bonnie. Gwendolyn and her cousin Bonnie. Her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, whom she calls completely bogus. Wilson. Oh, that could be any of them. Completely bogus? Why is that capitalized? Do you want me to look it up? Ah, bogus, bro. I can't find anything. I still just don't know which way round it all goes. Campaign mailer. Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. C.M. Carolyn Morden. Atlantis' Burden. Self-portrait art of the beauty of women. I should read that again. Sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on their dreams to settle for boring men. She even married a man who was completely opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. And she was P flag. Parents and friends of lesbians and gays, that stands for. Therefore, if that's correct, and friends means relatives, then friends could be anywhere. Friends could be literally anywhere along the line. Is that even relevant? I think it's relevant somewhere. But I'm having trouble finding a location because all of these say married, married, married. If it was adoption, it would say adoption. This implies you and the baby poppy out, right? I don't see anywhere else where that could have happened unless it was with no, because I just don't see anywhere where that would make sense at the moment. Gwyneth Madsen. Shiva candle. To Carl and Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. Who is here? There's someone in the house. A laugh I don't recognize. It ain't Halloween. Oh, they don't walk in. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could never have done that without the two of you fighting for us, much like Debbie. Nicole's sake. Who was Nicole? Nicole Madsen. Much love. Deborah Bean. I think that lines up. Let me look at the group photo again. Who is this girl? Why is she here? Oh, they've got a list of names. They include Bonnie, next President Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., oh yeah, he's wearing his tie. Yeah. Jim Roottree, Clark Carl, and Eli M. The Eli that's here is Eli M, not Eli C, Eli M. In fact, they look very similar. They might be twins. No, I think it's just the fact that they have their hairstyle in the exact same way. Here's a name tag. Eli M. Eli M. I don't know much on that man. He looks like he's wearing overalls. Duck. Don't. I don't want to use you, Duck. The modern 5-piece flavors aren't helpful. Might be something in the description of the ad that is. You're right, I haven't looked at that in a while. The flavors aren't useful. It mentions that 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Why are they not the same? I guess because no one knows what an elderberry is. Awesome apple. Bad blue raspberry. The current 5 flavors are not the same as... Why are they speaking right outside my door? Why did they do this? So, the flavors are not the same. What did you say, Duck? The modern 5 pieces flavors aren't helpful, but there might be something in the description of the ad that is. Not the same as back then. Let's compare this advert to the original 5 flavors, which was grape, elderberry, cinnamon, melon, and miracle berry. Grape, elderberry, cinnamon, melon. Grape, elderberry, cinnamon, melon, and... yeah, they just don't match up at all. So, what are they named after now? Are there also 5 of something, right? That then matches up. Zach said the recipe would not change. Or was it Ernie who said that? We will not be making any changes. Maple Crisps came to be with Ernie Jr. 5 pieces. There's no space, yeah. Didn't I look at this? By Charles Lee. Duck. I don't know why I didn't notice that. It's from a magazine. Yeah. I didn't read it. I didn't read that bit. Okay. The fact that I know that I can look up any magazine, any book, means I should be highlighting every magazine and every book. That literally just... I blind spotted that for so long. Teen Blast. That is something I can look up. Teen Blast. The website has a news section that offers condolences for the loss of the Roottrees sisters. Their fashion line was often covered by a magazine, and Raina Roottree first appeared on the cover on her 16th birthday. I'll look up Raina Roottree on the cover then. Periodicals. Teen Blast. Raina was on the cover of Teen Blast when she was 16 and did an interview. You add the cover and article to your evidence. The issue also mentions TMS and brother trouble. One important thing I learned from an early age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. My grandpa was a college professor who taught lectures about history. Thank you for telling me. Professor Clancy Roottree Jr. Who looks more like a history teacher? You. I don't do that. That's silly. You should know. You shouldn't like, oh, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? You do that in over a din, and you get away with so many things. He always told me that history was full of people from famous families who wasted their fame and fortune by taking it for granted. Instead, he told me I should go out and use my name to accomplish something. I think he may have practiced that lecture a lot, because I have other people in my family that have also made the Roottree name famous for things beside candy. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my friends tell me they had to read in school. I took his advice, and now I work with my mum, designing clothing. I help decide what colours and patterns I want to model. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandma Laura tells me he was really proud of what we've managed to accomplish. Laura, probably Lauren Roottree, if there's not a... There is a Laura Carlson. But I don't know what Clancy looks like. Is there anything in the picture that could suggest... I mean, he's wearing a bow tie. He has to be a professor, right? Hey, you're Miracle. You're wearing the rainbow tie. And you must be Miracle Jr. I never thought of that. You're Small Miracle Jr. You're Miracle. And I thought, well, you just look like a professor, mate. But that should fill it. Is that not going to fill it out if I don't know? Yeah. I've got two now. That's good. We're moving along. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in this one, but I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the four of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone else filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwyn. So the four of them, yeah, in the middle. So one of these is Edward and one of them is Eli C. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think a fair miracle made it in, since he's technically a five-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. Mr. Morden. Who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn? Why can I take a picture of this guy's face? Is there any more from this? TMS, what's he up to? Team Blast can tell you. Oh, how useful. Tommy Mark Sheridan appeared on the cover of Team Blast a record 38 times, including 3 back-to-back months during the height of Brother Trouble. Still mentioned quite often. You read every word of every article, and besides the fact that he was married to Raina, only one thing seems relevant. A gossip section from 1996, about 8 months before their marriage, is called "Is TMS Dating a Root Tree?" At a recent autograph signing, TMS told a Team Blast reporter that he met a girl at a party in Malibu. Apparently the cast of Brother Trouble gets together at Penelope's house once a year, and this time TMS found love. When our Team Blast reporter asked who the lucky girl was, TMS refused to spill. One of the creators of Brother Trouble, Ron, married Penelope, who played TMS's mum on the show. Well, yeah, it's Ron Roottree. Ron married Penelope. Penelope Tessa Green. Are there more Tessa Greens? Oh, they'd probably be Roottrees, wouldn't they? I guess that's interesting. Is there any more about Ron? Root tree? Yeah. One of them was already in your evidence. I know. Huh. Is there any more to think about when it comes to Brother Trouble? DCB. Yeah, the duck has closed the hint. The duck has closed the hint. I'd like to open another one. Poor duck. Am I bad? Self-portrait art and the beauty of women mentions several new names. Maybe worth looking into some of them. I tried. I'll look at it again. Oh, this is everything in my history. Huh. I never noticed this. Dedicated to Eloise and Stephanie. Eloise and Stephanie. Carolyn Morden. Who could Eloise and Stephanie be? Eloise? Stephanie? Eloise. That has potential. Carolyn talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation, and in her late teens she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. Cousin Bonnie. Who is Guy Hudson? Why don't I know him yet? Oh, that's Guy. Okay, fine. He looks like a professor, doesn't he? Laura Carlson, Penelope, Deborah, Eloise. She is bi, I guess. And I've got some more pictures saved. Booyah! Yeah, so that is Eloise in the correct place. So this is Guy Hudson. Do I have another picture of him? Not yet, I don't think. Bonnie Hudson. Wait, remind me who these people are? This woman and baby? I have no idea why I have that on me. This. Oh, that's Penelope. Huh. Joker Lantern was taken during one of Penelope Tessagreen's fundraisers, so that must be Penelope and Penelope's child. Penelope was here. You've... She comes out strongly against the Root Tree Company's effect on her local environment and rues how she was not able to convince her father Zach to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art and the beauty of women. Her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Dr. Wilson, brother-in-law, that is... You are Dr. Wilson. But there's a lot of Wilsons, I don't know which Wilson it is. Jason, Stephen, or Zach. Let me... Look at this again. Zach is not in this image. That can't be Zach. In fact, I could probably, Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, I don't know his occupation yet. I was wondering why that didn't solidify, right? They include Bonnie. One of them is Bonnie. It's either your Bonnie or your Bonnie. Next president, Guy. Ernie Jr. Ernie. Carolyn. Carolyn who? Oh, Carolyn Morton. Yeah. There's a lot of names I have to keep track of. Carolyn. Gwyneth M. Gwyneth Madsen. I think this is Gwyneth, but realistically should be anyone. Gwendolyn. One of these is Gwendolyn. Actually, they said about the glasses. I think this is Gwyneth. Miracle Jr. Jim Rootree. There he is. Clark Carl. Eli M. Clark Carl. Carl. Clark? Clark. Who was Clark? Oh, Clark. Huh. Well, he's the only person I haven't got then, so that must be Clark, I guess. Why don't I know what Chris Rafferty looks like yet? What's that boy? Why is that boy there? Why he there? You. Jack watching one of his mother's charity sets. Laugh Lounge. So, is here, Jack Rootree is this boy, and that baby was Tessa, named after that, and then baby profession. I could be Tessa Rootree, I guess. Her name is Tessa, but I don't have anything to solidify that. What could Gwyneth have done? What could Eli have done? He still looks like a plumber. A plumber isn't on the list. Farmer? No. Oh, what a shame. Miracle Third and his wife Nicole. Nicole Smith. Hey, Doug. There's still more. Several new names. Maybe worth looking into something. One person in particular sounds like you may be able to find him online. How so? Oh, you mean Zach? Zach Rootree. Dr. Wilson? I don't know his first name. Dr. Stephen Wilson. There's loads of Dr. Wilsons in the world. Although there are a lot of Stephen Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one apparently found a way to game the search results. Okay. It's pretty good that that's the first time where I've been like, huh? Really? But Stephen Wilson, a pediatrician who practices north of Pittsburgh. Pediatrician to the stars. The only evidence for this, that he apparently was the doctor to the Roottrees sisters. There is a picture of him on his website, as well as a picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them look as though the photographer was holding them hostage. Regardless, the photos have been added to your evidence. My dad is the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. He will treat your blood like he did me, my big brother, or my sister. So this is Dr. Wilson. Look at him with his fast car and the nonsensical scribbles. These 3. Two years ago, 1996. Ooh, how exciting! Where does this fit in? Who are we talking about? Dr. Steve Wilson, right? Yeah. That's Steve. And this is you. This is where did she go? Here. And this is you. You are Jason Wilson. You are a student. This is Jem Wilson, probably also a student. Yeah. 33. Was that the number that the lady said she would come back when I had? Okay, just filled in a bunch of children. They are relatives. And I've locked some more entries. Oh, hooray. Booyah. Yeah, here she is. Hello.
On the phone, I said I owed you an explanation. But I can't reveal everything. Not yet.
All right.
I'm sure this all seems like deception for deception's sake. So I'll try to explain why.
Yeah. Why exactly does light not reflect off of you? Has anyone noticed this before? Like, you seem to emit darkness. Pretty strange. You got some explaining to do.
It's true. I'm working with lawyers. But not the candy company lawyers. My publisher's lawyers.
Your publishers?
I'm on the verge of releasing a book, and it's not kind to the Roottrees. Especially Elias and the 5 Pieces. The truth often isn't.
You're about to get scandalous on the Roottrees, are you? You want information. Why?
But with the plane crash, the publisher is rightfully worried it'll look like I'm making things up to exploit a tragedy.
Making things up?
So they're doing their due diligence. That's why you're here. To be sure there's enough evidence for an expert to unearth the whole story.
What do you mean?
If I tell you the whole story now, we can't prove that. I hope you understand. That said, I can say that the work you're doing is very personal to me.
I'm sure it is. So what? You know the whole story, but you need me to figure it out for accountability, so people don't think you're lying. I think that's what you're saying. It's basically just you figure it all out. You'll have fun doing it.
To my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time after you fill it in.
When it's all done, and when I know the mystery person. That wouldn't be you, would it? That's a very long time ago, and if you're still alive, you would be very old. But you're on the tree somewhere. I don't know who, not yet.
Also, there are fewer root trees left. In a sense, that makes it easier. Use process of elimination. It's also harder to verify when you're right. You'll need 4 blood relatives before they lock from here on out.
Oh no.
I don't have any more evidence for you, but trust your intuition. If something has a high number, it's not a mistake. You're getting closer and closer to the truth. I look forward to seeing you soon.
As do I. They've made it harder to verify, have they? And the mystery continues. Well, four more correct blood relatives before they will lock in. Huh. You are Zach. Yep. As I said, it is now dinner time, so I'm BRBing. And I will turn this down to a comfortable low and mute my microphone. Goodbye. I'll be back. Waha! Voila, we're back. Why did it disappear? No, it's... What the fuck? Did it crash? Updating? Why? What the hell are you doing? I was playing that. You better saved. This was coded in Godot. Why did it just crash and then decide to update? Okay, it did save. This is a memorable trumpet sample. It didn't lock in Tessa Root Tree. I don't think her name or his or her babies are hard to tell apart. But yeah, we've got a lot of things locked in now, and apparently we've also got something new to look at. This. So there's still things to think about here. Huh. $33 out of 49. There's 50, aren't there? So here's the 50th. What could be here? Alright, duck, fine. I don't want to ask the duck things, but I don't know where to go. There are several people related to the campaign mailer. Have you looked into all of them? I was thinking about that. There's a big number here. There's Stephanie Jones. There's her husband, Carl, Stephanie. That's Stephanie's mother, Carolyn Madsen. Really, Brian Jones is not someone I've thought about. Brian Jones. He would probably appear in the Butler thingamajig. There's also two Joneses. There's a Jones. There was another Jones somewhere, right? I thought there was another Jones that appeared. Oh no, there's only one Joan. I will look up that in the periodical... Why are you making that noise? Brian Jones. Who is this guy? There are many advertisements over the years, as well as a small article... I did unmute myself, didn't I? Yes, I did. Just checking. There are many advertisements over the years, as well as a small piece from 1995 about Jones Graphic and Print. The article is a piece about Brian Jones taking over his father's print company after 20 years. Brian seems to not have let it go to waste as a marketing opportunity during an interview portion. I've been in and out of that shop my whole life. My father taught me everything there is to know when it comes to getting the job done right and getting it done quick. We've been a printing staple of Butler County for years, and even the Butler County Times uses us for their coupon pages a few times a year. But still, whether you're a new client or one of our regulars, nothing will change. Come on down for the best prices on bulk printing anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania, or search for us online. I designed the website myself. Jones Graphic and Print. Jones Graphic and Print. Even has frames. Lists the address hours, and a few examples of clients and the type of work that was done for each. So this entire thing. Stephanie Jones Campaign, mailers, Rootree Candy Company, various banners and posters. Butler County, Holiday Light post banners. Rootree Motors? Rootree Motors, Butler County School District and Butler Summer Theatre posters and set contributors for Children of Eden. Rootree Motors. Find a hit for Rootree Motors on the Rootree Motors. Oh, I bet he's a car repairman. Mechanic? Let's see if I can correlate that. Rootree Motors in here. There's an ad for Rootree Motors in the paper. It seems Rootree Motors used to be called Wilkins Motors. An ad for Rootree Motors has run in every week's Butler County Times for many years, but recently has been changed to include a picture. 3 unique versions of the ad have been added to your evidence. Advertises that the former name of Rootree Motors was Wilkins Motors. Wilkins Motors is still the same family business, but it's joined. Tessa Rootree, our newest fixer, says that Rootree Motors has been around for about 50 years, is a family business, and also that Tessa Rootree, the newest fixer, learned all there is to know about cars from her Rootree Motors parents. Fucking copper plate Gothic. It's a font I see everywhere. Everywhere. I know I'm going to see it tomorrow because there's a bike just outside my university building that's there all the time, in the same place all the time. It's got a cover over it, and I can't remember what the cover says, but it's in copperplate Gothic. And somewhere else as well. I think on a sign by the marina that says, like, don't dive or something silly like that. There's also copperplate Gothic there. And Patrick Bateman, he's what you say, he's a business card. He's same thing. Right? Okay. I think that makes sense. This is Tessa. She's got the same outfit as well. Mechanic. Yeah, the duck has ended the clue right there. Wilkins. Catherine Wilkins. Oh, ain't that sweet. Who was Miracle's wife? And which way round does this all go? Ah, I probably know all of the presidents now, yeah. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. I guess I'm like a hint slut now. Give me another. I only noticed one thing that might be useful. Yeah, probably. Let's take a look at that up again. I wasn't particularly thinking about that. Operation... What was it called? I probably... Or the root tree curse. This. Was he poisoned? Yes.
So what is your plan for tomorrow?
Let's read this again. There's a long, rambling conspiracy website with very small, very red text on a black background. I never read that. It says that the root trees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. With Carl and Brenda and their girls, that makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Root Tree Company have died mysteriously. They say Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 1982, but nobody was arrested. Then Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. This cannot be a coincidence. There's another entry that claims if you connect the dots in the patterns of the 5 pieces wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby skull, a secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. The post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. The author of this site seems to agree. An entry from a few months ago claims that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff 75 at prodigy.us asking him to take down his site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows that the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. The first entry is from 1996 and has a blurry picture of the Root Tree Candies Company. All images and ideas by Thomas Overwood. I never scrolled down that far. Thomas Overwood. That's a name, isn't it? Thomas Overwood. Thomas Overwood seems to have a few different sites about mysterious deaths and curses. The truth behind Spirit Cola claims that Spirit really stands for Satan's plague is returning in 2000. Anyone who is drunk Spirit Cola will die. Another website is Stock Markets and the Devil's Numbers, which claims that if you multiply any stock's price by 666, then also multiply the current year by that, then add those 2 numbers together and divide the entire total by the stock price, you'll always end up with 666. Spirit Cola. the hell is that? I just downloaded an exe. I'm gonna get a virus, am I? You find a simple page called The Art of Rafferty, copyright 1997, on Prodigy that lists the author's email address as that. Below a bunch of GIFs that say under construction, there are a few art pieces. The first is a painting captured me and my fiancée, Lulu. A painting I did for my first year of college that I plan to give her when we get married in May. Go Tartans. There is an odd collage called Cousins, which seems to be made up of 3 scrambled images. We had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could, even some I've never met. Only a few of them got back to me. And my teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose, so I had to get creative and use only my 3rd cousins. This includes Davy and Bethany's yearbook picture. And Stephanie. Chris's artwork has been added to your evidence, but the cousin's photo needs to be unscrambled. You've downloaded a new application, Pixpop. No. What the hell is this? Bifurcation. Oh, this is Chris Rafferty. Huh! I never noticed that! Chris Raff, yeah. Me and my fiancée, Lulu. We've got new information. Yes. You. Student college. Yes. These 4 entries are correct. Chris Rafferty, he is a mechanic. Yeah. And I've also locked in the following. Is there anything that didn't lock in? No. So everything is right so far. You're Lulu. Luisa Garcia. Let's take a look at that, shall we? This is Chris Rafferty's cousin's art project and is set to contain pictures of Davy. An application on your PC. Pixpop. The best free photo editor. Cousin zoomed. I see. Yeah. Dichotomy. Cousin sliced. I knew this was coming. Slide puzzles. No. Where does this go? There. That's not gonna work. I'm not smart enough to do this. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for your duck powers. I had enough. I love you, fucking duck. I love you. Alright, we fixed it. I love you, duck. No, not that. This. Davy, he swims for Yukon, Bethany, and Stephanie. Let me move my mouse. Stephanie, eh? Was there any other Stephanies I should know about? There's a Stephanie Catchell. Yeah, that's probably it. So these are third cousins. So they're not allowed to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're like elsewhere. In fact, the only Catchell I know... How many Catchells are there? Sam and Stephanie. If there's only 2 Catchells remaining, then... This? And Stephanie Catchell is a middle school student. Kellogg. David Third, David Fourth, and Bethany Kellogg. Yeah. So therefore you're David Kellogg Third, and then those two go around in some way, don't they? But I ain't gonna get a lock on one of these unless I know what Gwyneth Adson does for a job. I think I know. Head of farming. Okay. If I'm correct and you are married to Sam Catchell, that would make you Mrs. Catchell. So now, which way round do you think these go? Like this, then this, maybe? Which would make you Bethany Kellogg, and you David Fourth. And in here, Bethany's yearbook, Davy's younger sister. It's the other way around. David Thorpe. Bethany is here. If she has a yearbook picture, then she must be a student. Swims for UConn. U is probably a university. College. Okay, 12. Yay! Look at it, look at this! 1, 2, 3, 4. Booyah! Killing the cloud again. Oh, we're getting so close. There's only 8 more that I need to think about. As she says, there's only a couple of root trees left. Hey, Doug. Get me through this, bro. This is like alcohol. Lauren mentions the name of Jim's father. Does she? How did I miss that? 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 Jim's father. Really? Jimmy Jim. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers. Yeah, that does make sense for Eli C. then to be Jim's brother if I already know Clark's brother. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thanks, you stupid duck. So this is Eli C. and this is Edward. And if I keep on reading this, Eli's marriage seems fine and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock. Oh, Jim, yeah, because it's her diamond. Yeah, okay, that's what that's referring to. So yeah, wasn't he a lawyer? Doc, do you have anything more to say? Lauren mentions the name of Jim's father. More than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock. I suspect that he's marrying Jane. Eli's marriage. Who could you be married to? I noticed. Jim's father is Eli C. Did I get the picture wrong? You Find a mention of Eli's occupation in a periodical article about someone closely related to him. The next generation.
I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did. Yeah, so he is the guy who I suspected him to look like first. Looked a lot like Pop. And he's a lawyer, so why are you still... Because I know that. You can find a mention of Eli's occupation in a periodical article about someone closely related to him. An article, a periodical. I've got it here. I'm certain I have. It was on
It was here somewhere. I think it was the Roottrees versus RR. Or take up the legal side of things. Oh, Edward is set to take over his department. Edward is a lawyer. So, what did Elias do? In a periodical of someone related to him. Modern... Did I never look that up? I'm just like overdosing hints right now, but we're near the end of the game. Jim Root Tree. I've read this.
Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C and J plus J and D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters, so the four of us had sort of a cutesy family band thing going on, not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with... yeah, the only thing Clark and I had in common was music. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of that decade he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Raffa tunes, and he's a much better jingle writer than a songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls, so he was an advertiser as well. Oh, I see. Yeah, sorted. I still don't have any... Ernest Martinez Jr., only child, should be easy to fill in. Where did he go? If you go over your evidence... Ernest Madsen Jr. Yeah, Nicole Madsen. Nicole is not in this image. I don't know if I know what Nicole looks like.
Ernie. 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 Ernie has got to be mentioned somewhere. Ernie must be mentioned. Where? Oh, the Shiva candle photo. You said there's no evidence in it. Oh, you know, this could be Deborah. I thought they were like sisters because they look like identical. Age is a very hard thing to judge in this universe. But if that is Deborah, then this could be Nicole. I guess. Ernest Mertens Jr.'s article in Business Watch. Did I? Yeah, it's like, oh, there's so many things that I haven't looked at because I haven't been methodical about it. Haven't been writing down all I should be. Let's take a look at a periodical. Business Watch. Ernie Jr. I have read this. You find an article from December 1995. Root president to take over Roottree. Due to heart illness, Ernie Jr. is stepping down as president of Roottree at the start of the second quarter in 1996. His second cousin Carl, president of sister company Root and former Watchman of the Year, will take over. It has been 13 years since Ernie was forced to step into the role of president unexpectedly. Back then, not much was known about the man, other than his full name. In the years since, he has taken on a bit of a reputation as a real-life wonker. He is known as a bit eccentric and reclusive, opting to be called simply Ernie Jr. and to forgo the typical luxuries of the average Roottree. But in our estimation, he has been a shrewd businessman with an eye for sweets. Ernie Jr. has led Roottree to record profits by developing new products, including maple crisps, and by spearheading the formation of Root with his cousin in 1987 after learning of Brenda Roottree's power in the fashion community. Ernie obviously painted all his workers orange and dyed their hair. Yeah. Oompa Loompas. Yeah, and he wore a silly hat, and he twirled around his cane, and he made a chocolate river in the factory. An eye for so Ducky. What's the curious business pivot here? Curious business pivot. Is it him making maple crisps? Should I be looking at maple crisps? There's probably something interesting on there. No? Is there a space? I thought there wasn't a space. No? Go back. Root. Yeah. It's been 13 years since Ernie was forced to step into the role of president unexpectedly. I know that because Guy was president died in a car crash. But why fancy flavors? Ernest Madsen Jr. That's Ernie Jr. in Business Watch. I'm in Business Watch. Ernest Madsen Jr. Oh, typing in his full name gives me something different? Oh. An article from 1982. Ah, I see. So this is when he took over. An article from 1982 announces that an Ernest Madsen Jr. is taking over the day-to-day operations of Rootree after the previous president died unexpectedly. Rumours that Ernest had originally trained to succeed Zach, but had been passed up for unspecified reasons. The last 4 years at Rootree have been tough in an attempt to keep our products relevant to the modern audiences, from the fancy flavors misstep to the batter up bar. Mr. Madsen is committed to getting back to basics. Yeah. Fancy flavors. I want to look up this batter up bar first. Let's go to search thing. New space. Pancakes and maple syrup. Creamy imitation of pancake batter as its filling, and the packaging had baseball imagery. Consumers loved the taste, and the candy launched to stellar reviews, but after a little less than a month on the shelf, it was discovered that the filling of unopened bars began to separate and developed an off-putting texture described as powdery chunks floating in oily goop. What a shame. It was a Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece. Yeah. Zach said he wouldn't make any changes to 5-piece, but Guy did. I know that for a fact. If he added fancy flavors to 5 pieces, anyone could live like the wealthy. This philosophy led to a flavor in 5 pieces that was meant to mimic caviar. So what's important about this? This is it. Fancy Flavors was an addition move as president of Rootree, in an attempt to cater more towards what he thought the average person wanted, caviar. It was very quickly announced that caviar was meant to be a limited flavor and would go back to normal as soon as possible. Caviar? Caviar. I don't get what's important about this. Right, where's the thanks duck? The duck that whispers in my ear. Let's go and take a look at Guy. Guy, along with his twin sister, are no strangers to the public when it comes to Rootree snacks. They both appeared in the company's advertisements as children during the Boys and Girls Agree era. Who would have known that one of those two adorable redheads, Guy credits his mother and father Angie and Christopher with providing his fiery dew. Sometimes I wish to have a do. Guy's uncle and current president, Zachariah, has decided to take an early retirement to focus on traveling the world with his wife. Zach was quoted as saying, "Now that our daughters have started families of their own, Clara and I plan to reflect on a life well lived." I never got that. Huh. Clara Lansing. Gwendolyn was in the picture, wasn't she?
So this must be her, I guess. Guy is new to the business world, but he's family. We at Roottree have faith in his innovative ideas, and he's eager to share them with the world. We like to think the boys and girls agree when he's ready to succeed. Something from his childhood. Of course, advertisements. Boys and girls agree era. These are the things that I should be looking for. Oh, I always think about these. It's too late now. It's like I'm already like through the game. I've got like 5 more people to place. Boys and Girls Agree. It is a series of television and magazine ads for Roottree chocolate bars. Yeah, using this. This is Guy and Bonnie. Guy. What exactly did Bonnie do? Housewife? Well, sometimes you just gotta guess, and you get it. Great! Clara. Booyah! And you as well. Oh, sorry, Urahara, I've got to do something. Okay, I'm back. Chinese food has been summoned to my location. And I just had dinner as well, but my dad walked in and he was like, "Oh, we're getting Chinese, I guess. Do you want some?" And I couldn't say no. I'll just put that as default. I don't want this to turn into an ASMR. I'll eat that later. We've literally only got 4 people now. We have enough information to fill in Gwyn's younger son. I'm sure I have. Gwyn. I'm sure I have. What was he a director all along? I thought he wasn't. A screenwriter and allegedly an embezzler. Oh, screenwriter is a oh, fine. I don't know anything about films. Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for giving me the pointers. I wish I had a little duck that sat next to me and whispered sweet nothings into my ear. Where was that? Oh, that was a website, wasn't it? I took a note of it. Butler County School District and Children of Eden. Let's search that. Oh, sorry. Oh, it crashed again. Cool. I'm not very experienced with this streaming thing. Although I have been doing this for like a month now, I guess. Whoopsie daisies. You know, I didn't expect to finish it today. I thought there were more people. But I guess there's just enough. It's because I'm cheating. It's because I'm allowing the duck to tell me things. I'd like to thank it, like, saving. It's, like, really cool. Thanks for saving. Yeah. Stream for years. Oh, yeah. People do that. It's so easy to forget something tiny like that. When you do it all the time, it's easy to forget somehow. You'd think it would just be a part of your routine, like the rhythms of what you're going, but it's so easy to miss a beat. Where was I? Children of Eden, correct? Of Eden. Stephen Schwartz. Look, you're cool, saxophone, but you've been slightly too loud for quite a while. A game designer by the name of Jeremy Johnston really likes it. Also, if you haven't, you should hit the back button to go back to Jones Graphic and Print. Search for whoever was performing it. That's probably a good idea. Who was performing it? It doesn't say. Oh, probably the school district. I thought I just typed that in. What did this say? But if you do... Jeremy Johnston, kind of Easter egg. You don't need to check it out, but if you do, I like the songs these. I will look these up. Oh, I guess they're real songs. I will take a picture of them instead. I don't want this to get too cool. Probably search for whoever was performing it. Oh, Butler Summer Theatre. As it is not summer currently, thank you message. Stay tuned for announcements and performance in 1999. The credits of a musical, which seems to be the final show they performed last season. There's a cast list, but none of the names seem relevant. Choreography by November Studios. They advertise lessons for ballet and jazz classes. Why'd you take me here, Doc? What do you know that I don't? There's only one left. Yeah, there probably is. Yeah, there is. That's probably you, right? Yeah, there is. And only, like, one more. November is written on it. November, the child. And you can be... Oh, whomever. I don't actually know what November is doing nowadays, because... Yeah. You're right. But this... I guess housewife, if I don't know any better? Oh, November Studios. Yeah. Am I that forgetful? Am I that non-observant? Studios, right? So you're a dramatist? Director? What should I count you as? Choreographer? Actor? Model? Actor? Dancer? Right. Sorry, I wasn't looking at you. I'm not used to people being in that box. Dancer. Right. That's what choreography is. Yeah. I should stream for less time. My brain weakens. Right, and the baby. I've only got one more root tree. Yeah, I did it! Oh! Who's the baby? This is the mystery box where people sometimes write messages. This isn't a duck. You are correct. That is the mystery box. You're in the mystery box right now. But she's gonna appear. Oh, the envelope. I get to open it.
To my genealogy genie.
My genie.
If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives.
Sometimes I wish the letters I read were voice
I
acted.
knew you could do it. There are 2 more entries on the family tree I'd like you to consider. These last 2 are optional. You can summon me whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth. So make sure you're ready.
Right. Who is EC? What does this mean? I'm ready? I confirm? Is that gonna call her? If it does, I don't want that to happen. Who is EC? Yeah, I think that is the endgame button. Genealogy for dunces. I ain't no dunce. I've got a magical duck that tells me what to do. Who is EC? You ain't even telling me where the evidence is now. Duck. My beautiful duck. Remember that History of Candy book? There's a little detail. History of Candy. Yeah, I didn't look at that very much. Yeah, that book does mention EC. I should do a thing that I've never done and add a new page. This is the EC page, and I'm going to put everything about EC, anything that says the words EC here at all, which I think does start with this. It's to do with Sam. In fact, I barely need this now. I won't delete it. John. Wait, remind me who John is. Spouse? Oh, I have to type it in. I can't select from a box anymore. Scary, huh? I don't remember any John, but I'm bad at names. John. Oh, what a shame. Taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. I'm near the end. EC. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Confirmed bachelor. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. I wanted this to go in the other page. Here. Let's take a look at that candy thing. This one. No. Score! Score! This is a book about all things candy throughout history. Historical accounts dating back to the ancient Egyptians. It includes some print advertisements from companies you've never heard of, including an extremely early newspaper ad for 5 pieces that Charles Lee included due to a major misprint. You found this advertisement in The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 1. It's from 1924, 2 years after the... Maybe there's a Volume 3, but I'd like to look at this first. Ugh. There's a... Tie this up to him. Tie this up to him. That's son. I think I get it now. Go back to the thing. I want to look at it again. The author included it because of the spelling error on the word available. It states that the flavors are inspired by their children, and the order is grape, elderberry, egg cream, cinnamon extract, melon. So EC, I'm guessing, is a sort of disowned son of the roottrees. Who could EC be? I guess I'll look and see if there's a volume 3. No, there isn't a volume 3. But this is big. So, yeah, there's only one mystery left. Such as this. Sam had to grow up in a house with him, i.e. EC, and his roommate, Mr. Miller. Like, there's no Millers. I don't know a Miller. Mr. Miller. Well, you mentioned Miller. What could Miller's first name be? Like, at all? Farm, that is, Anderson Farm. You're right. You are right. I was thinking, who's John? Who's John? And there's no John. John Miller? Spouse? This is like the 1900s. Gay people probably existed, but spouse? True, roommate. That could have happened. Seems like an important... I don't think there's another... John Miller. Spouse. Who's EC? Who is EC? Who is EC? Let me look at this again. Confirmed bachelor. Sam, working alongside the farmhands, hid her away with the local farmhand known as EC. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor. Grew up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. John Miller. John Miller? John Miller. Yeah, it's still a bit hot. Who is EC? What if we go back to the start? Go back to Elias Root Tree. Any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy. Family Man, the Root Tree Legacy. There is nothing I missed there, was there? Bess Williams. There's no downloadable version available because the book is impossible to find these days. Really? Family Man. That just seems a little strange, doesn't it? Family Doku? The author of the Alphabet Davis series, filling in a family tree by following a set of rules. Ah. A digital version of Family Doku, called Family Doku at Home. Logic puzzles on your home computer. That sounds interesting. What the hell is this? The full game? Not now. Not now. I've got a real mystery to solve. Gwyneth Anderson. Let's talk Gwyneth Anderson. There's like a whole game in the game. Yeah, I tried looking at Gwyneth Anderson, and what if I looked at her in the paper instead? Periodicals. No, not Sanderson. Anderson. Patricia Christensen? I've never thought about her. Christensen Steel was a steel company. Christensen. Some are old birth announcements in the Butler County Times from the then owner, Matthias Christensen. The only name that looks familiar is Patricia. There was a front page article in 1944 stating that the Vice President of the United States had stopped there to visit the factory floor. Company stopped being advertised around 1949. Around that time there was a blurb stating that Matthias was stepping down. I think one of the logic things they want here is they want you to look up who was VP in 1944. So like under FDR, I think. Truman? Truman. What if I look up Truman? Truman. What was his first name? Harry? Harry Truman? Or am I thinking of the guy from the Truman Show? Truman. It was Harry. Harry S. Truman. Was he VP? Let me double triple check. Truman. Serving as Vice President in 1945. Vice President. Preceded by Henry A. Wallace. Never heard of this guy ever. But he was VP from 41 to 45. Huh. Henry. No, that's just VP visited. Let me just look up Christensen Steel. Christensen Steel. This is the thread. This is the thread. We follow it. Parts for vehicles. Steel Company. Steamy Correspondence. By Tina Angelina. Historical letters with an erotic twist. someone who goes by Patch. I think that's meant to be. Her nickname was Patricia. It would have been in her mid-20s when the letter was written. Was married to an older man of no notable status. This letter was most definitely not to him. Probably to Eli. Was it Eli Jr.? Eli Jr. There are also a few passages that mention a daughter, leading Tina Angelina to theorize that this letter was written to the father of a child she hid from society in some way. Could EC be the father of Samantha? This says adopted. Was it child, father, written to the father? That was Eli. Ends on the mention of a twisted twin that seems to evoke imagery from classic literature. If not for her story, yours and mine would be the most tragic tale ever told. How awful is it that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin. Brother? Left an outcast, forced to a life of labour under a wicked relative, it's like something from the start of a children's fable. She deserves not the life she has been sentenced to. Can't stand to be apart from you both. Someday I shall return to you, and I pray that he has not corrupted her to know her to know his sins. Tina has no theory for what the more cryptic parts of that mean. Someday I shall return to you, and I pray that he has not corrupted her to know his sins. E. Christensen, potentially brother of Patricia? Entrusted with Sam to keep her hidden away for something or something. EC. But no, I thought EC was the son of Elias. I'm not sure how that works. Brother's twin. I'm just confused. EC. I think it's Christensen. I think it's something Christensen. EC. E. Duck. You have everything you need. Inconsistencies. Her nickname was Patcha, with the first two letters of her last name, and Patricia Christensen was known to appreciate wordplay like this. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo, since Miracle was in it and the three of us were all about the same age. This is from Lauren. Eventually I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morton, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Found out years later they never even took a second photo. Huh. But where? But where? Yeah. From here, the original 5 flavors were grape, elderberry, EC, cinnamon extract, and M. That is 1 grape,
elderberry, EC egg cream, CE cinnamon extract, and M melon. And we know that Miracle appeared much later. I think they said 14 years, a while after. So this was the original 5, and if that's the case, then EC must be the son of these two. But if he's Christensen, then how does that work? Brothers twin. So EC, egg cream. What if his name is just egg cream? Egg cream. We found him out. Elias's twin. You may be right. Let me read that again. It was cryptic. I don't think I quite understood it the first time. Shut up. Play something that isn't Kevin MacLeod. There's a lot of pronouns here, like her, his. I don't know who they're referring to. So this is from Pat to Eli. If not for her story, Sam's, yours and mine would be the most tragic tale ever told. How awful is it that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worst, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin. If this is authored to Eli, then Eli's brother's twin would be Clancy's twin. Clancy's twin. There's a similarity. Twisted twin. Keep on reading. Left an outcast, forced to a life of labor under a wicked relative. Elias, I think. It's like something from the start of a children's fable. Twisted twin. Reminds me of her story, which is why I picked this up in the first place. She deserves not the life he has been sentenced to. She, Sam, deserves not the life EC has been sentenced to. I can't... Was there something about Lauren's dad getting post to the... Lauren's... You are right. Where was that? And I noted that. Like, either yesterday or today, I noted that there was something about that. And I thought, twisted twin. Is it just Edward Clancy? Like, just backwards. You're completely correct. Edward Clancy and Clancy Edward. Twisted twin. Literally, twisted. Where was that? What was this? Jim and Diamond. I can't focus on that now. I do remember that. I don't know if I should thank you or be annoyed with you backseating me, because I would have liked to solve it myself, but would I have solved it myself tonight? Where was this? Met EC in person. It's Edward Clancy. I think it is Edward Clancy. Yeah. Even after they got Edward Clancy Rootree, I had to break the news they got my father's name backwards. Twisted. You don't have to say sorry. You jogged my memory, and I'm satisfied as well.
because I remember seeing that. I just didn't note it down for some strange reason. I'm terrible at noting things down. Edward Clancy, literally a twisted twin of Clancy Edward. Edward Clancy root tree, or maybe root tree Edward Clancy if you want to put it the correct way around. Right. Do you want the enter? I can't put an enter. Right. I've put this here now. I've written down Edward Clancy. Now, where do I go to? Did it say here? Find what's in the locked space, which they said was personal to them. Time to submit. Is this a submit button? I thought that was the give up button. Is there like a submit button elsewhere? Call her? She said to call her if you want to end it. I think I pressed this. I hope I pressed this. But first, here's the final optional entries you found. Oh, I didn't just press the submit button. Yeah? Oh, that's correct. It says correct. You.
So, you thought EC was Edward Clancy Roottree, and his partner was John Miller?
Yes, I did. Now I get to see you. I'm wondering who you are. Are you Old Sam? I bet you're Old Sam.
That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Oh.
I'm
right.
Sam Manson.
You are Sam.
Though you know me as Samantha Roottree. Yep, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago. My book tells the truth about Elias, the 5 pieces, and my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers, Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller. By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser.
Ooh, how riveting. I've got like riveting Chinese. It's getting cold. I need to eat it after this.
Lauren
Hold on.
was right.
Let me finish it.
The 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning.
Yes.
My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not. At age
Why not?
16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand.
Yes, confirmed bachelor.
Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable.
So they ignored
The same year
him.
I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix.
Oh.
They tried to erase Edward Clancy.
Yeah.
They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC.
Mm.
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away. But Elias couldn't erase us from existence.
Yeah,
Lauren
that.
never
I got angry when I
realized
met a new
was the
girl who I
little
do
girl
not
from her
like.
Diary.
She said, "Your pop is my dad." Yeah, that was Lauren. Lauren never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact
Right.
copy of mine, except without the beard. And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all. But there he is in the background.
Hmm.
The 6th 5-piece. Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom, from a life she deemed unworthy. Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the 5 pieces.
Hmm.
My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago.
That says
He
Emmy.
had trained to take over as president.
That
But
says
in
Emmy.
family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy. A real root tree. He nearly ruined the company.
Yeah, it went to Guy instead of Ernie, who was training for the job. Illegitimate daughter of Lauren's dad. That was Clancy Edward. No, this is Edward Clancy. Or Sam. This is Sam. This
When
is
Ernie
Samantha.
took
That's
over,
her.
he saved the operation.
Hmm.
Over 13 years, he made the family billions.
Then he stepped down and, what is it, died of a heart disease?
Ernie earned about $36.
Right. Why was that?
They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death.
Who
was
forced
my
their
turn.
hand to make them only receive that much money?
Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy.
Hmm.
Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry.
Yeah. Robert, an embezzler.
Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock.
Oh, I just skipped her dialogue. That sounded familiar. The Clancy Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future. Right. Only blood relatives. But, maybe not you. Or Edward
His
Clancy.
entire family's
Yeah.
future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart. My
EC.
book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as, and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the trust, as anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The Clancy Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money.
We've proved the family.
The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record
We
straight,
proved it.
thanks to you.
We proved it.
As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light.
Yeah, you say it, girl.
And when it does, my share of the Clancy Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning,
Set for life.
set for life. Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete. Unless a whole lot more root trees somehow appear from thin air. This is the last time I'll come knocking. Thanks again, and so long.
You sort things out. You sort your life out. You write that book. Goodbye, 2D cutout of Samantha. I'm down to the city. Thanks to your hard work, Sam Madsen's book was published. It received mixed reviews. Life went on, and a new president took over the company. The Rootree family faded from the news cycle. And then everything changed. Was that a check by a giant duck? Oh, there's another mystery to solve? Oh, of course! Root Tree Mania. That was like, when I pressed new game at the beginning. I'm a secret root tree. Oh, I bet people are doing that now. Root Tree Mania. Find out what happened to the... There's a whole part 2. Wow. So I bet this is going to be a bunch of hoaxes. People saying, oh, there's a load of money if you can prove you're a relative of the root trees. So people are saying they're relatives of the root trees. That's only part 1. I completely forgot about the part 2. It's been 3.5 hours and I'm not doing that tonight. My food is getting cold. I want to thank you, Urahara. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Urahara Science. For being here. Yeah. You're a horror. You. Thanks for playing. What, did you like make the game or something? I have no idea who you are. Oh. Well, I think I've definitely enjoyed having a chat member. It doesn't usually happen. I wouldn't have given the hints I did if I'd made it. No, you probably would have kept silent. Kept quiet. Well, maybe you'll be here when I play Root Tree Mania as well. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I've got... I'm very busy tomorrow. But maybe on Saturday. Ah, what a mystery. We solved the mystery. We did it. What a mystery. No, this game has actually been great. I'll say it again. The reason I played this is because I played Her Story, and I thought Her Story was really fun. So I probably looked up online games like Her Story, and then I found the Root Trees Are Dead, and the fact that it was getting like a Steam release in January of next year, and then I put it on my wish list, and then I bought it, and then I played it. And it gave me many smiley faces to come.